Hi everyone, my name is Akshaya Kavre. I'm a nature and animal communicator, which means I can speak to plants, animals, and other species and have two-way conversations with them. And this channel, we talk about everything animal communication. In one of my recent videos, someone commented that they have been communicating for the past couple of years and there are still certain obstacles and difficulties they face in their communication journey. And this got me thinking. No matter where you are in your communication journey, you will often face certain obstacles or difficulties. That's just a part and parcel of life. I've been communicating for the past 9 years now, and I started communicating professionally since 2018. And yet, there are times where even I face the same difficulties that a completely new communicator may face, or an even more experienced communicator may face. This is not uncommon at all, and I believe in my personal experience it also is pretty normal, because no matter how well we do something, there's always scope to become better, and there'll always be certain challenges that we'll face at every stage of our communication journey and otherwise. So here are a few common obstacles that even the most experienced communicators may face, and a few things that we could do to probably overcome them. Please note that these come from my experiences and your experiences may be different. So if that is the case, please don't forget to share your experiences in the comment section below. Number one is being overwhelmed by the information the animal is sharing. Oftentimes, I speak to animals who are going through a lot in their lives, or their humans may be going through a lot. And this information can also be overwhelming for me. Sometimes it even gets difficult for me to detach my emotions from the communication and stay as neutral as possible. In such cases, I don't hesitate to take a break from the communication, quickly ground myself by deep breathing or having a glass of water, and then get back to the communication when I feel comfortable. So if you are someone who is getting overwhelmed by the messages that the animals are sharing, taking few frequent breaks can really be helpful in this regard. Number two is also sometimes getting confused with the messages the animals are sharing. There have been several instances in my life where animals have shared either contradictory messages, or the humans have not resonated with what the animal has shared, or the messages are broken and do not make complete sense to me. This happens even today, where the topic we are discussing may be confusing to the human or the animal, or maybe I have not completely understood what the discussion is all about. All of this could lead to confusing messages from the animal, which can really get us very nervous. If this happens, once again, I don't hesitate to take a break and go through the information the human has already shared with me. I don't even hesitate to reach out to the human to get more information so that I can make sense of the messages the animal is sharing with me. Another important thing that helps me in this regard is actually questioning the animal frequently and continuously until I understand what the animal is sharing. Of course, this is not in a reprimanding way, but more in a respectful manner, where I am requesting more information about the said message which is confusing me or which I feel I don't have complete clarity on. It's very important that we leave the communication with complete clarity, and at no point do we feel confused about it. So if I take longer for such a communication, I do not mind it, but I ensure that I seek clarity to the point that I feel is clear enough to be shared with the human as well. So this is the second obstacle that I have frequently faced in my journey. The third obstacle is the imposter syndrome. Oftentimes we speak to so many animals and so many diverse messages come along that on the way we may really lose our grounding energy, and hence we may face the imposter syndrome. We may have a lot of self-doubt, we may question what we are doing, we may question what the animal is sharing, we may question even whether this is helpful or not. And this is something I have been through many a times in my journey in the past 9 years of doing this. Each time I have gone through this, I take a deep breath, I ground myself, and I allow myself to process the emotions that I'm going through. I acknowledge them and I wait until the time that I feel confident about communicating again. I also have a journal with all my communications that I have done in my earlier days, and I go through them to reinstate my confidence level and to understand that this also is a part and parcel of the journey, and in a lot of ways it helps me stay grounded as well. It helps me not become overconfident in the work that I am doing. So yes, the imposter syndrome could be a real obstacle for a lot of us communicators, even those who are way more experienced than I am. The next obstacle and challenge that we may face is often feeling like we are not doing enough, or often feeling the need to take a break, or even burning out with the kind of work that we are doing. While communication per se will not come in the way of our energy, will not really drain us out, despite the fact that it's a common misconception, it doesn't drain us out. But doing it day in and day out can push us to a point where we feel burnt out with the work that we are doing, just the way any other work can drain us out and make us feel that way. So once again, taking a break is very important. Self-care, ensuring that I have enough personal time, setting boundaries around people who reach out to me for help, and ensuring that I have proper work time and I work in that time has been really helpful in ensuring that I do not get burnt out as frequently as I used to in the past. So now I have a set schedule. I work on certain days, I don't work on certain days. If certain days I am just feeling too stressed out, I don't hesitate to reschedule a few communications. However, it really helps me keep my energy clean, take care of my health and myself better, and in turn it also helps me with better communication, because if I'm not caring for myself, I really can't extend the same kindness to anyone else around me. So feeling burnt out, drained out, or feeling like I'm not doing enough is an obstacle that a lot of us face. And finally, there could be a lot of guilt. Oftentimes we are talking to animals who are sick, we are talking to animals who have behavioral issues, and the humans are reaching out to us with an objective, with an agenda, that they want something out of this communication. They want a very specific specific outcome out of the communication, and many a times we may not really reach that specific outcome. We may reach to a middle ground, or we are negotiating. Sometimes we realize that what the animal is asking for, the human cannot provide. Sometimes it could be the other way around, and all of this can have an impact on us. And here I would like all of you to understand that we as communicators have a very small role to play in the journey of the human and the animal. We can't make it so that we feel responsible for them, because it's not healthy for us, neither is it healthy for the animal or the human. We need to respect the relationship the human and the animal share, and ensure that they can continue on their journey with their own decisions, and both the human and the animal understand that. So taking on that guilt for not proving ourselves, or for not getting to a conclusion that the human or the animal expects, is in fact coming in the way of our own journey, and not so much in the journey of the human and the animal that we are talking about. So this guilt is also something that we commonly face, and in these situations we really need to work on ourselves to detach, remind ourselves constantly that they have their own journey, they have their own worldview, they have their own opinions and perceptions, and there's only so much we can contribute. And the animals know about their greatest good, and the human is also in most cases working towards the greatest good of the animal. So these are a few common obstacles that even experienced communicators may face. If you have gone through these, please do let us know how you resolve them, or if there are more that I have not mentioned, please also do talk about them. Until the next video, bye-bye.